Good morning, everybody. I am Joan McDonald. I am the chair of the New York State Bridge Authority. It is Thursday, February 19th, our monthly meeting. I am going to call the roll. This meeting has been noticed according to New York State Public Officers and Open Meetings Law. Calling the roll, Lanny Gilbert.
Present.
Alex Berardi.
Present.
Freddie Garcia.
Present.
Roger Higgins.
Here.
And I, Joan McDonald, am present. We have a quorum. Do I have a motion to open today's meeting?
So,
Thank you, Roger. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Lanny. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Chris, are there any public comments today?
Not today.
Okay, thank you. We are going to, today's order of business, we're going to do the Community Appreciation Employee Recognition Award. And then we will pause the full board meeting to have a meeting of the governance committee. So I will start with the Employee Recognition Award. Good morning, everybody. How are you? This is the tolling and data insights team. So thank you for everything that you have been doing. So I will read the first award. It is for Milind Bezor. Come on up.
Thank you.
Milind is recognized for outstanding contributions and innovation that have significantly advanced data-driven initiatives at the Bridge Authority. Through deep data analysis and a strong ability to translate complex information into actionable insights, Milind has created intuitive, interactive, and visually compelling dashboards that make toll system safety and security data accessible to a wide range of stakeholders. These efforts have played a pivotal role in identifying key opportunities for operational optimization. Milind's work exemplifies innovation, data excellence, and cross-functional collaboration, making a meaningful and lasting impact on the organization. Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Milind, for all of your
Hey, you gotta take a picture.
And I want to add that that was an understatement.
Yes. Next up is Cynthia Santiago. Hello, Cynthia.
Hi, how are you?
Cindy, okay, whatever you'd like. Cindy provides steady leadership and oversight of the toll audit function, ensuring that work is completed accurately, timely, and in alignment with authority standards and objectives. She consistently goes above and beyond to keep processes running smoothly, proactively addressing concerns, and supporting both staff and leadership with professionalism and foresight. Her dedication and leadership make her an invaluable asset to the organization. Cindy's continued commitment to the success of the toll audit department and the organization as a whole is sincerely appreciated. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you again.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Next up is Barbara Kelly.
Shake your hand.
Hello, Barbara.
How are you?
Good, how are you? In a role that requires precision, independence, and integrity, Barbara consistently ensures the toll system remains true, accurate, and reliable. Her careful oversight of the system, along with effective management and coordination with Transport, has been essential in maintaining confidence in financial reporting and internal control. Barbara's dedication, strong work ethic, and professionalism are deeply valued, and her continued service is sincerely appreciated. Thank you, Barbara. Jules Louis. Jules regularly handles complex and time-sensitive inquiries from the public, managing each interaction with exceptional grace, patience, and kindness. Her ability to remain composed, respectful, and solution-focused ensures customers feel heard, and it also reflects positively on the authority, demonstrating a strong commitment to high-quality customer service. Jules's positive attitude, strong work ethic, and meaningful contributions, especially within a short period of time, are highly valued. She is a welcome addition to the team with continued growth and success anticipated. Thank you, Jules.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks.
And now we have a first ever special appreciation, an intern appreciation award for Devin Grippo. Come on up, Devin, as you start your career. Devin has demonstrated an impressive command of technical concepts and an eagerness to dive into complex systems. Through sharp technical insight, intellectual curiosity, and a rare ability to absorb and implement new systems with speed and accuracy, Devin has consistently delivered results beyond what we envisioned for an internship role. Over the last 2 years, Devin has grown from a long-term intern into a trusted and valued member of the team. And I see everybody shaking their head, which is great. His contributions make a real difference, and we are incredibly fortunate to work alongside you. Thank you, Devin.
Can we get a picture? And I want to add, because I work continuously with all of them, that Jeff needs help in writing because they're more impressive. All of them.
Well, I was going to say the writing was very.
It's
Hit
very.
the mark on each one of them.
All of them.
The whole team. Come on up.
Board members?
Yep, come on.
Excuse me, sorry.
Alex on one side.
You're in front.
Like so short?
Yeah, come on with me.
Oh, all
right, okay. It's always
You
a
and me,
short
Cindy.
ones up front.
Yep.
I'm told.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
You're one of the people on up here.
And usually you are, right?
Okay, I can see
I'm in a
everybody.
good crowd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jules, you're
I
hiding.
can see everybody.
Now.
Okay, that's
everybody-
good. All right, stay full.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nicely done, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Yeah, that was great. So, everyone.
All right, we will now pause the full board meeting for a meeting of the governance committee. We have Alex and myself here. Maria is unable to come today, but we have a quorum for the committee. So, Alex, do I have a motion to open the committee meeting?
So moved.
Second, all right, both in favor.
Aye.
First up is to approve the minutes of the December 2nd Governance Committee meeting. Any questions, comments?
Nope, I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you. I'll make a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and next up is to review and authorize the filing of the annual confidential survey of commissioners regarding the board's performance. We have to approve it, and then it doesn't go to the full board for a vote. It goes to the,
Unfortunately, Alex wasn't at this.
oh, so we'll save it for the next governance meeting. Okay, thank you, Kevin. So we'll table the minutes from December. Thank you, Laura. And we will vote.
You can do the review and authorize?
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
a today action. That's not something that.
And the result looks good this year.
Yes.
Compared to last year, they're up.
Okay. So who's presenting those? Chris. Yes, thank you, Chris.
Yeah, so this is a survey that the board members have to complete every year by the directive of the authority's budget office. So this will get filed with the ABO. The trends are very positive. Everybody selected either agree or somewhat agree on the 14 criteria. There were 10 criteria out of the 14 where there was unanimous agreement, which was up a little bit from last year. So very positive results. And I think this is a good annual check-in for the board members to think about how the board is functioning, but it's also good for the staff to see these results and see if there's ways that we can help our board members as you serve in these roles.
Thank you, and it is important, since this doesn't go to the board, but the full board is open. I'm asking whether there are any questions from any of the board members before Alex and I vote on advancing it to the authority budget office.
Why don't you ask whether we're satisfied with the salary?
Oh, that we received? Okay.
I'll raise it with the ABO.
Okay, yeah, you do that, Chris. All right, hearing none. Alex, do I have a motion? I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
And the results will go to the authority budget office. Any additional new business, Alex, that we need to address as part of the governance committee?
Not that I know.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn the committee?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you very much. I second, and all in favor?
Aye.
All right. That closes the governance committee meeting for today, and we will unpause the full board meeting and go back into the agenda. So next up is to adopt the regular meeting minutes of January 15th, 2026. Any comments or questions from the board? All right, do I have a motion to approve and adopt the meeting minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Lanny. Thank you, Roger, for the second. Lanny Gilbert. Alex Berardi.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins. And I vote in the affirmative. The meeting minutes are approved and adopted. Next up, Minoshka, your reports to the board.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning. We have been busy of working our internal team for the union negotiations. Department directors have been meeting with Vince Toomey, which is our counsel overseeing the negotiation process for the upcoming collective bargaining agreement. CSEA has also formed its negotiation team, and we anticipate beginning discussions with the union in the near future. In terms of community engagement, the authority staff were read on Friday, February 6th, in recognition of National Wear Red Day, observed annually on the first Friday day in February. This day raises awareness on heart disease, the leading cause of death for women. Our social media platforms highlighted this observance, and Governor Hochul directed state landmarks, included our Mid-Hudson Bridge to be illuminated in red that evening. In public outreach and media, I had an interview on February 9 on Marino in the Morning on Q92, where I discussed the upcoming projects on the Mid-Hudson and the Bear Mountain Bridges, highlights from the governor's proposed budget, as well as the recent agreement between New York and the Dominican Republic. We highly appreciate the opportunity to regularly engage with Chris and Felicia and other leaders. And on February 12th, I delivered a presentation at the Rockland Business Association luncheon in Orange County, one of the counties that crosses the DMV Bridge. And this discussion primarily focused on the Bear Mountain Bridge deck replacement project, along with regional highlights from the governor's proposed budget. In terms of interagency collaboration and partnerships, on March 5th, we are having the Transportation for Life Virtual Summit. The planning is underway in collaboration with several state agencies. We are working towards this summit, focusing on secondhand trauma. This event is designed for state government employees and will provide a safe, respectful environment that encourages open dialogue and shared experiences. We are working with documentarian Lulu team to produce a short introductory video, and a keynote speaker also has been identified. Feedback from participating state agency has been positive, and we have very strong interest expressed in the coming event. Cabinet meeting, Lauren Melendez, our Deputy Executive Director, and I attended the governor's cabinet meeting on January 21st in Albany. Discussion centered on the governor's state of the state proposal and the fiscal year 2027 executive budget, which includes major investments in infrastructure, as well as enhanced transportation workers' protection. Our deputy director also attended the interagency LGBTQ task force meeting in Albany on February 11th, hosted by the governor's LGBTQ affairs team. This meeting was focused on proposals in the governor's executive budget and state of the state to support this group. And this community and upcoming events, such as the Transgender Day of Visibility on March 31st and Pride in 2026. In terms of infrastructure, we recently received proposals for a system-wide emergency bridge closure system that would allow NYSBA's command center to remotely close all our bridges and alert motorists in the event of a vessel strike or similar emergency. This item is presented to you today for your consideration. In addition, Majestic Masters continue to work on the peer protection study, which is being expanded to include all authority bridges with piers in the water. On the Bear Mountain Deck Replacement Project, bids for the deck replacement were open earlier this month. This bid extension provided contractors additional time to submit accurate and competitive proposal, and this item is before you for consideration. In the meantime, I would like to present, I would like to walk you through the project process so the public understand, this undertaking that was massive and spanned many, many years, just the planning of it. So in the last time we had redecked the Bear Mountain Bridge was in the 1970s.
Wow.
So our last inspection report in 2023 showed an accelerated deck deterioration. It had been almost 50 years since our last redecking, and we set out immediately to work. We included the project in the updated capital program, and we went out to select our design team. We put an RFP on July of 2024 and selected Thornton Tomasetti in August 30th, 2024. And as soon as we had the designer, in construction projects, we need to go through a process of permitting to be able to complete this project. So we started our preliminary design process, and that was completed in 2025. But then in addition to this permitting, we need to go to the public and explain this is what we're planning to do, give us feedback, and we incorporate their feedback into the design process. So we had 3 meetings, one in person in March 13, 2025. We had open houses in May 21st, and we had a second meeting in September of 2025. We consider all the comments. They were pretty well attended, and we received a lot of feedback from them. Majority of the feedback was environmental issues that they were concerned. They were also very interested in having climate deterrent fencing to be included in the project. As part of the project and as part of these comments, one of the things that we did was we set up a wind tunnel testing. This is done in part to determine the load bearing capacity of the bridge, because when you're changing elements in the bridge, you need to know how to balance the bridge in a way that is, as you're taking things out on a suspension bridge, the movement is too big, and we wanted to know that the new materials that we were gonna put in, the new steel upgrades that we were gonna do were not gonna impact the bridge. So we set out to work, and it worked pretty well. We decided with the wind tunnel testing that we were gonna include the climate deterrent fencing. We selected materials that are resilient. For the redecking itself, we needed to modernize our steel and provide upgrades with the new standards provided. And we decided to increase the sidewalk because we were not ADA compliant, and we wanted to, make it and modernize it in that way. In addition to that, we received SEEKR, a negative declaration from SEEKR, that is the State Environmental Quality Review. And I'm reading because I used the acronym for years and never remember what, And then also with SHPO, we, the State Historical Preservation Office, we received a no adverse impact because we were changing the style of the fencing now to be taller. This is a historical structure, so we need to go to them and receive permission that we are now changing the historical aspect of the bridge. So that was very positive. As soon as that happened, we completed our design and went out to put the project for bid. Now, on the meantime, we decided that we wanted to do a project labor agreement to set up negotiations with the unions that were gonna be part of this project to get some concessions and get lower prices. Through that process, we have potential savings of 1.4 million, which is fantastic for a project of this magnitude. And we also selected the construction inspector. As a reminder, our engineering team is very small, so we rely on consultants to enhance their personnel structure, and HDR was the winner. After we completed all this process, we went for a construction bid, and we put an RFP on December 6th of 2025, and on February 13th, we received the bid, and El Sol ES2, a joint venture of them, were the lowest responsive bidder. After bid validation, they became the lowest bidder at 93,800,000, which is fantastic because it's below our engineer's estimate, but only a few $1 million. And the highest range of the bid was 116 million, which is a very even, not too many peaks in this process, which is a testament of the great work, I'll say, that Thornton Tomasetti did in their design project. And then notice to proceed, according to Eric, is gonna be happening March 30th, 2026. We look to mobilize the project on April. Construction will start around May, and it will take 32 months, and hopefully will be complete by August 30th, 2028. So we are extremely excited with this project, and we appreciate your support throughout this process. And I'll give extensive kudos to Eric that did an amazing job managing this process, and Lauren here that all the public engagement meetings she coordinated like a champion, and some of them were tough, and she was doing her job and she did it as usual extremely well. So thank you, Eric, thank you, Lauren, and Brian, that was always putting us,
Making sure that we were
Yeah.
fiscally sound.
every time we express more money than what he thinks it should be, he's there to remind us that we shouldn't. So that is a really good thing. So thank you, Brian.
Questions, comments from the board?
Okay, kudos to staff.
Exactly, Roger. I think that, having this timeline, because we have some new board members who joined once this process was underway, gives us all a good understanding of what Minoshka, Eric, Brian, and the whole team, Lauren, went through to get us to this point. And it shows great professionalism, great insight, and we really, really appreciate all the hard work that you have done. And now I guess the fun begins
After I put it to the board.
after you put it to the board, then the fun begins, right? Good. Yeah, and I think, I think you're right, Minoshka, having, we are a small staff, so having the right consultants, and we went through the process to select. And as you said, the fact that the bids were all in a really tight range shows that they did a very, very good design effort. So we all look forward to the groundbreaking and, more importantly, the ribbon cutting, right?
I would also add that there had been, during this process, obviously, there have been concerns raised by local politicians regarding their desire to have us consider preventive fencing
Yeah.
and all of that. And I think, from what I understand, the feedback, based upon, how we proceeded, they were very satisfied, that, things, moved in an expedited
Yep.
and a very concerned way by committee and commission.
Thank you. Mrs. Harriman would be very happy.
So,
Okay.
continuing with my report, we continue to work on our strategic plan and meeting the goals that we put out in terms of operational excellence. This month, we have a lot of our leadership going into different groups to present. We've been invited to do presentations in several places. And in addition to that, we have been joining several organizations that we feel enhance our operations. So in January, we joined the Hudson River Safety Navigation and Operations Committee that allow us to enhance coordination on maritime safety and operational issues that happen at the river. That is an excellent, organization to be in. Then in addition, our Deputy Executive Director has been selected to serve on IBTS 2026 Broadway Safety Steering Committee. I will be participating as a panelist at the most significant infrastructure project summit on February 26th, next week in New York City. And our Chief Engineer, Eric Foster, will be presenting at the American Council of Engineering Companies in February 26th as well in Albany. In terms of tolling best practices, we are working on maximizing toll collection, and for that, the tolling department that you met today continues proactive efforts to recover unpaid tolls, identifying high volume violators, conducting targeted outreach, and establishing structured payment plans. We have coordinated with the DMV to strengthen enforcement mechanisms for repeat offenders, including implementing registrations and suspension procedures and deputizing an administrative law judge to conduct hearings on contested toll evasion cases. This has been actually one initiative that no other agency has in the state, and we came up with the idea. So Jeff, Kevin, Lauren, myself, Brian have been working heavily on this, and we're very excited because DMV decided to allow us to deputize Kevin as an administrative law judge, and it has been a long process of convincing everyone that this is a good idea, and it finally is here, so we're very excited. And Jeff and his team has done an amazing job to produce the information needed to do that, as well as Kevin. And Lauren has been a major challenge. So in terms of promoting a positive work environment, we continue to work. We have conducted our second climate survey, receiving 52 responses, an increase from 35 the prior year. And we are still working on the survey results, and we will go in a road show to show everyone these are the things that you told us, and these are the changes that we're planning to bring on board because of that. In terms of contracts, there are many contracts that you're going to see today presented by engineering and command center today. And then in terms of finance, we don't have final revenue figures for 2025. They're going to be reported next month. In terms of traffic, for the month of January, we have 4.6 million vehicle crossings, represented a 3.4% decrease, in part attributable to the winter storm activities that we've had. So these sort of make sense to us, and the Easy Pass utilization has been 89%. That is wonderful. Those numbers have been increasing. And in terms of traffic composition, even better, we have 8.27% of commercial vehicles that is a modest increase from last January that it was 8%. So we're very excited, and this concludes my report. In terms of activities to report, I don't have any activities to report. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any questions from the board?
And just a comment,
Okay.
if whatever help I can be, if you want to discuss, I've served as an administrative law judge for the
Oh,
county
right,
for
yes,
5 years.
good, yep,
So any,
Yep.
any questions or any,
Definitely reach out.
great, thank you, Lance, thank you,
Okay.
yep. Okay, we have onto our business items, we have nothing under administration. Next up, engineering and maintenance, Eric.
First item up in the engineering report is I'm putting together the in-house maintenance capital program for approval. In addition to routine maintenance that our staff do, they also perform a level of work on the bridges that can be attributed to as a capital program. Because it does extend the service life of the bridges. So what we do each year for each of the structures, we develop a series of programs that can be attributed as a capital level program. We compare that to what it would cost if it were contracted out, and we project a savings. So for this year, the total overall capital program that we've developed is $2,154,651. That when compared to being let as a contract program, that would have been $3,717,782, which gives us a projected savings of $1.5 million. So we put that to the board that this would be the in-house capital program. We're putting that to the board for approval.
Questions from the board members? Okay, yep,
Just a comment.
okay,
I think the amount of work is incredible. And we look over all those different projects, bridges, to have it all done by in-house staff. Is such a compliment. It's amazing. It really is. Congratulations.
And next month, I'm hoping to present some of the actual work that they're performing.
great, great. Okay, do I have a motion to approve? Thank you, Roger, second.
Second.
Thank you, Freddie, I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert,
Aye.
Alex Berardi,
Aye.
Freddie Garcia, Roger Higgins, and I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted. Eric, next.
The next up is the Bear Mountain Bridge deck bids that came in. We've gone through that before, so I'm just putting to the board for approval that we could award this contract to ELSO ES2 Enterprises at a cost not to exceed $93,800,000.
So thank you, Roger. Second. Thank you, Alex. Lanny Gilbert,
Aye.
Alex Berardi,
Aye.
Freddie Garcia,
Aye.
Roger Higgins,
Aye.
and I vote in the affirmative. The contract and resolution are approved.
There we go.
Thank you. Here we go.
Okay, and to support that, as you heard again, we don't have the in-house staff to do the quality control. So we've put out to bid for consultant services. After evaluation of their proposal, HDR was selected to extend our oversight on that project at a cost not to exceed $3,599,865. I'm putting that to the board for approval, so it all ties in together as we move forward.
So
Second. Thank you, Alex. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Berardi.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins.
Aye.
And I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted.
Next item up is system-wide capital program project manager scheduler. The agency currently uses a system of spreadsheets and in-house type programs to manage the capital program. But as the program gets more developed, we want to transfer that into a more modern system. So we've put out a proposal to have a scheduler, outside scheduler, come in, put our program together, give us a baseline, then put our capital program together. Going forward, we'll be able to do monthly reports, even have them present to us, have them present, we'll be able to identify schedules more readily and anything that we need updated. So we put out a proposal to get a scheduler. We received 6 proposals. We did an evaluation, and the matrix selected Axiom Consulting as a project for this project. The project is gonna be a 1-year project with optional 4-year, 1-year extensions. The proposal for the selected consultant Axiom is a cost not to exceed $155,111.40 per year. And this is a good start, we think, and we're putting this to the board for approval. It's something that we need to kind of modernize our systems. That there's several different program management systems out there. We're moving towards integrating our systems to be more modern.
Thank you, Roger. Second?
Second.
Thanks, Lanny. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert,
Aye.
Alex Berardi,
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins.
Aye.
And I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted. Next up, the Kingston Rhine Cliff Bridge.
The Kingston Rhine Cliff Bridge, the substructure, the concrete substructure for the Kingston Rhine Cliff Bridge has over time exhibited a pattern of deterioration, which it's not normal deterioration that, you know, we see swelling, general aging. So this warranted further investigation. We had put out a proposal in November 2025 to get a consultant on board to do a study to give us an understanding of really what's happening. However, we had some interest in the original proposal packages, but ultimately we did not receive a proposal. We do need this study, and in order to get the comprehensive assessment study that we need to move forward with any kind of resolution, we would like to assign this project to our current general consultant, Majestia Masters, as a supplement. And we requested Majestia to submit a proposal to us. A lot of this work is mostly testing, sampling the material and doing some laboratory testing. So the proposal, which involves, like I said, a lot of access for inspections and pouring and doing lab testing. The proposal came in at $900,544.40. And we've reviewed the proposal and we think this is reasonable based on the entirety of what needs to be done. And we're looking for approval to the board. We're looking to the board for approval to assign this to Majestia as a supplement so we could get the required condition assessment.
Do they actually have a lab to do the analysis, or do they sub that out?
They sub it out
Okay.
to,
Yeah, I know there are a
Yeah.
couple of companies that do the actual
Oh, I see.
testing, yeah. There's
most
advanced testing in
of
Orange
the
County.
proposal work is sub-consultant work in
Okay.
their proposal.
And you reviewed them to
I've
make sure
reviewed.
that those subs are all good.
Yes,
Interesting that nobody responded to the RFP. So,
and we've tried to reach out to see what it was, and one of the things too, we need to get this done, so we were trying to give them a tight
yeah,
timeline.
a tight timeline,
And
so.
they weren't gonna be able to manage that time.
Questions, comments from the board? Okay, do I have a motion?
So,
Thank you, Roger. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Freddie. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert,
Aye.
Alex Berardi, Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins.
Aye.
And I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted.
Next item up is what we call an acoustic monitoring system. We have been doing acoustic monitoring for the Bear Mountain Bridge cable. It assesses the acoustic sound of any potential wire breaks. They had done some inspections in the past and had found some wire breaks in the system when they investigated the cables. So we put up a system of acoustic monitoring that allowed us to change the inspection year cycle from a 5-year cycle to an 8-year cycle. So it does have those offered us that grace period in terms of potential savings. However, the vendor who is supplying our acoustic monitoring now, they're getting out of the business. They're going into something else. However, we've asked that they maintain the acoustic monitoring for us in the interim while we're gonna put out a proposal for a replacement system. And this proposal to the board is for an extension of the current contract to another 10 months to the end of the year at a cost of $25,460.42. It is essential service. Like I said, it allows us to keep our required inspections to 8 years instead of 5 years. And in the interim, we'll be developing a proposal for a replacement system. So we're putting this to the board for approval to have Pure Technologies contract extended to the end of the year.
Questions, comments? Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Lanny. Second. Thank you, Roger. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Berardi.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins.
Aye.
And I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted. Monthly jobs in progress.
Only jobs in progress. The first item up on the table is Bear Mountain Bridge. Done that 3 times. So we're gonna move to we approved it just now, so we're gonna look forward to give the contractor notice to proceed and have them start mobilizing. We are gonna discuss with them, as we said previously, suicide awareness type training. And that's another thing I had in mind, but there's a certain level of activities we're gonna pre-engage them with to make sure everything runs smoothly there. The Mid-Hudson Bridge East Approach project, the main part of the project that's more obvious to the public right now is containment system that we have on the Arch Bridge, where they're performing blasting and painting. A lot of work is inside the vaults that we haven't seen yet. It's not quite open to the public, but they're preparing for the infill work to begin shortly. And that's next month. I'll be showing you a few pictures of that so you can see what it looks like.
Great.
If we had time, we could go out, but there's not enough time. So I'll bring the pictures in and present a few slides so you can see the activities there. And the next item is the Hudson Valley Bridge, our on-call contractor. They continue to support us. They're currently Reef Van Winkle helping us doing some brackets for some light posts, and they're available for us to be on call for any items that come up during this year's bridge inspection cycle. That ends my jobs and progress report.
Questions, comments from the board? Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Thanks, Lanny. Second. Thanks, Roger. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Berardi.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins.
Aye.
And I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted. Thank you, Eric. A busy
Yeah.
construction season ahead.
Thank you.
Brian, financial.
Chair, first up is the monthly investment report. There were 11 investments, all of a routine nature. We continue to go to see investments basically close at the 3.5% range, which is considerably down from where it was a year ago. The balance in the maintenance reserves fund stands at 150.2 million, considering the context of 9.97 million we just awarded this meeting. No other, unless there are any questions. Interest income yield ticked up a little bit. That had to do with some of the cash positions at year end.
Questions, comments? Okay, do I have a motion?
So,
Thank you, Roger. Second?
Second.
Thanks, Freddie. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Ferrari.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins.
Aye.
And I vote in the affirmative as well. The resolution is approved and adopted. Next.
Okay, annually we bring to the board the insurance fund balance determination. This is basically the balance of what the authority has as retention on the bridge property and loss of revenue policy. It's computed by going and taking the deductible on the policy, which is the higher 3% or 100,000 or 3%. 3% of the coverage for which we obtain, which is the cost of the largest single component of the system. We currently have coverage of about 490 million. The cost of the most costly component of the system is $487,650. This brings the balance in that fund, allowing me to invest additional monies in that fund to 14,630,000. This is a $497,000 increase year over year and is directly related to the construction index being applied year over year.
Questions, comments? Maybe we can get the governor after she passes the auto insurance issues this year to focus on bridge insurance next year. All right, do I have a motion to, thank you, Roger. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Lanny. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Berardi.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins.
Aye.
And I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted. Next up, Human Resources, Aurelio.
Good morning, Chair. The authority has received several employee requests to enroll their domestic partners in CSCA dental and optical coverage. Currently, the authority offers group health insurance coverage, including MC dental and optical benefits to employees, domestic partners, and eligible dependents exclusively through NYSBA, the New York State Health Insurance Plan. The authority seeks approval from the board to offer the same dental and benefits for domestic partners through CSCA dental and vision plan, and allow CSCA represented employees who wish to enroll their domestic partners in CSCA to do so for dental and optical benefits effective March 1st, 2026. CSCA requires an authorization letter from NYSBA to expand this coverage. CSCA has confirmed that there's no additional administrative cost associated with the expansion of coverage to domestic partners under NYSBA's CSCA dental and optical plans. We're submitting to the board this proposed resolution for the board to consider and authorize us to move forward and offer this benefit to our employees.
Questions, comments?
so move.
Okay, thank you, Roger. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Alex. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Berardi.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins.
Aye.
And I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted. Next up, IT, Mark.
It's time to renew our backup software. So after submitting an RFQ and receiving 3 quotes, Resilio Inc. was the lowest bidder. So we're going to the board looking to get approval for an amount not to exceed $24,999.40.
Okay. Questions, comments? Do I have a motion to observe? Thank you, Roger. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Freddie. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Ferrari.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins.
Aye.
And I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted. We have no bridge operations issues. Command Center, Danielle.
Thank you. So we've been working with the Department of State US to, they've identified that the Mid-Hudson Bridge would be an ideal location for an air gap system to be installed because it's the central midpoint on the Hudson River and it has pretty low clearance. And as part of our ongoing efforts to enhance bridge strike prevention, maritime safety, and operational resilience, we'd like to move forward with this installation in partnership with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. So the air gap system is a system that provides real-time measurement of vertical clearance between the bridge and water surface. So it'll support safer maritime navigation, more informed operational decision-making during high water and severe weather events. As everyone knows, there's increased vessel traffic and more extreme weather that's been occurring. So the access to real-time air gap data is critical risk mitigation tool to protect our infrastructure and reduce the likelihood of bridge strikes. NOAA is a sole source provider, as they have this system installed in other locations throughout the Hudson, mostly further south. And their system ensures consistency, interoperability, and the ability to expand the air gap monitoring northward along the Hudson by introducing compatible technology. Installation of this system will enhance our situational awareness for operations, engineering, and security staff, while also providing accurate publicly accessible data to NOAA and the maritime community, which will support our improved vessel transit planning, increased ability of proactive operational decisions, and strengthen interagency coordination during incidents and weather-related events. One such event coming up is the sale of Fourth 250. So that'll be really good if we could somehow get it in place like that. The system will align with the authority's prevention-focused, data-driven approach to risk management. To install this equipment, it will be a total of, the equipment itself is $103,000, and then there's an annual maintenance and operations fee of $19,000 for a 5-year period that we're asking to commit to. So we're asking for approval to sign the MOU with NOAA, authorize the purchase of the equipment, commit to the annual maintenance and operation costs, and proceed with installation of the process.
Good question. When we responded to the NTSB about what we were doing, did we include this item in the letter that we sent? Okay, good. I couldn't remember on the timing whether it was in there. Great,
Yeah.
great. Questions, comments?
Are we reimbursed for the 19,000 operating expense per year, or that's on us?
We're not, that's on us. One thing I briefly mentioned in here, but we are looking to also install a separate van winkle in the future, and DOS would actually pay for that equipment, but we would be responsible
For
for
the
that.
ongoing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any additional questions, comments? Thank you, Alex. Do I have a second? Thank you, Roger. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Berardi.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins. And I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted. Next, Danielle.
Great, thank you. And then, so Noska mentioned earlier in her report, we did release an RFP in December for the design work of an emergency closure system that would allow us for enable and quick coordinated shutdowns wherever safety or operational conditions require. This would help mitigate risk, enhance safety, and ensure timely operational control during emergencies. When we put the RFP out, we had 8 firms that requested to receive the RFP, and then we had 2 firms that actually submitted. Of the 2 firms that submitted, only 1 specific responses, and that was GPI. And they proposed to do the design work for a lump sum fee of $387,000. So we're just asking for approval to move forward to award them this contract.
Questions, comments? All right. Thank you, Roger. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, thanks, Freddie. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Berardi.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins. And I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted. Next up, Jeff.
Thank you, Chair. This morning I have 4 items. The first is an invoice from the New York State Thruway Authority for reimbursement for implementation costs for Conlin for meeting 2 milestones earlier in the project. That invoice is in the amount of $71,399.53.
Questions, comments from the board? Do I have a motion? Thanks, Roger. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Lanny. I will recuse myself, but I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Berardi.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
And Roger Higgins. The motion is approved and adopted. Next.
Next is another invoice from the New York State Thruway Authority for 4Q 2025 credit card reimbursement costs. These are routine. Every quarter we have these from Thruway for easy reimbursement, credit card reimbursement through Easy Pass costs. For 4Q 2025, we are looking at the amount of $298,834.61.
Questions, comments?
Always amazed by how low the rate is.
Good job. Keeping that
Yeah.
low.
Do I have a motion? Thank you, Roger. Second. Thank you, Alex. I'll call the vote. Laney Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Berardi. Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins. I'll recuse myself. The resolution is approved and adopted. Next.
Next is an amendment to our collections contract with Transworld Systems, or TSI. TSI was brought on board at the June 20th, 2024 board meeting due to ongoing delays with getting conduit system up and running and allowing collections to continue. They asked for an amendment to the contract to reset their start date. They've effectively lost an entire year. So we agreed that made sense to give them the full contract duration. And we're seeking approval to reset, an amendment to reset their contract start date to January 31st of this year, as opposed to 2025.
That makes sense. Unfortunately, that they weren't
Yes.
able to start.
TSI has been great partners
Mhm.
throughout this testing, that ongoing testing. They've been on every call. They've offered value-added services to us. They've done some work with they did some skip tracing for us. They did not send me an invoice, though I asked for it. So they've been great partners, and I think this makes sense to do.
Any questions from the board members, comments? All right, do I have a motion to approve and adopt the resolution? Thank you, Lanny. Second, Roger. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Berardi.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins. And this is not a throughway, this is, and I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted. Next up.
The last item I have is a invoice from the MTA Bridges and Tunnels for AET credit card reimbursement in the amount of, this is for 4Q 2025, the amount of $31,618.
Questions, comments? Do I have a motion? Thank you, Freddie. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Lanny. I'll call the vote. Lanny Gilbert.
Aye.
Alex Berardi.
Aye.
Freddie Garcia.
Aye.
Roger Higgins. And I vote in the affirmative. The resolution is approved and adopted. That concludes our business items for today. Do any of the board members have old or new business they would like to bring before the board? All right, hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, Alex. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Freddie. All in favor?
Aye.
Today's meeting is adjourned. Our next meeting is March 19th at 9:30 in the morning.